beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about your month of April of 2023, and I am super excited to get into it with you. Before we hop into today's video, I wanted to give a little quick announcement. As you may know, I stopped offering personal readings quite some time ago, but one of the resources that I love to recommend is Keen, and I'm so happy to announce that they decided to sponsor today's video. Keen, if you have not heard of them before, is a huge online platform full of psychics and spiritual advisors that are there to answer your life's questions. A couple of the things that I really love about Keen is the fact that they have so many different psychics on there, and you can choose from different ones that have different price ranges, and you actually get to choose the amount of time that you want to spend with a psychic. My personal experience with Keen has been super fun and great. I've asked questions about my love life, my career, all sorts of different things on Keen, and they all had really accurate answers and really accurate predictions for me. Although I do recommend trying out a few different psychics before finding the one that you want to spend the most time with, just because I really like super detailed psychics who can make really specific predictions. So those are the ones that I try to find. And if you are interested in giving Keen a try, you can head to my link trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. And again, that's trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which can be up to $99 in savings. So again, all that information will be linked down below for easy access. And a huge thank you to Keen for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much, and let's go ahead and hop right back into today's April 2023 prediction. Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is for your April 2023 monthly prediction. So we're going to be asking Spirit to come through and let us know kind of the major themes that are happening in your life over this next month. If you are new to these videos, I'm also going to give a quick little explanation about how this works. Basically, this is a psychic prediction, and I have 4 different piles in front of me. And what you're going to do is take a moment, even pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you're the most drawn towards or called towards. If you ever have troubles with deciding which pile feels like it's calling towards you, you can also close your eyes and ask yourself to think about the first number that comes to your head between 1 and 4, or a color, and then seeing which pile that correlates with. We have group number 1 over here with some amethyst. Also, excuse my voice, I have like a stuffy nose today, but yeah, we are getting through it. Group number 2 is with this beautiful angel aura quartz. Group number 3 is with this beautiful aqua aura quartz. And then group number 4, we have this sunset aura quartz. So again, you can pause the video if you would like in order to find the pile that you're the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's going to be linked to your specific cards, that you can skip right ahead and watch your personal reading all about your month of April and what's in store for you and what you can expect through this next month. We're going to ask Spirit for all the information for your highest good at this time. So I'm really excited to get into it with you. I also just want to quickly mention that we have some brand new jewelry out on the store. I make handmade beaded bracelets, and they also come in silver too, and a bunch of different types of crystals. So you can browse through different ones and read about their different healing properties and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to quickly mention that before hopping into today's video. And if you are curious about any of that, all the information will be linked down below with a special discount code as well, just for my beautiful YouTube audience and people. But I am sending you so much love. Thank you for joining me here today. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so my beautiful group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so group 1, we have so many major arcana cards coming up for you. We have the Magician being reversed, the Hermit being reversed, the Sun being reversed. Those are all major arcana cards. The Wheel of Fortune is another major arcana card too. And whenever we have a lot of major arcana cards coming up in a reading, it indicates that you're going through a major time in your life. a very major period, whether you realize it or not, because sometimes even the smallest things can have the biggest impacts. And the month of April for you is about to be a pretty big, significant month, to say the least. A lot of shifts are happening that are going to drastically affect your future, and they're drastically affecting your future for the better. There's actually a lot of messages within here that I'm excited to get into. So one of the things that's coming up is you're being called to step out of a rut in the month of April. The Magician being reversed, the Hermit being reversed, the Sun being reversed, it kind of seems like there's been certain things that you've been trying to perhaps manifest in your life or create, or a vision that you wish that you could have, and maybe we're either filled with self-doubt, or there's been certain things that have been happening in our life lately that make us feel behind or make us feel like our desires are not really coming true. We might be struggling with making our dreams and desires a reality, basically. So the Magician being reversed kind of indicates that little bit of struggle. Maybe we're searching for the quick way forward. Maybe we are met with a lot of like delays or resistance of some kind, or maybe we just don't feel like we have what it takes. There may be that self-doubt where you may not feel like you have what it takes to kind of make the shifts and the changes that you've been wanting to, or just things that we keep trying, like maybe we keep trying the same thing over and over again and we just keep getting the same result, and we're like, okay, like I don't know what to do at this point. So this month is going to be a month of huge shifts, and I feel like you're being called to leave behind a certain chapter in your life and to make really big changes. It's time to move forward and leave something behind. The winds of change are coming up for you for the month of April. So the Hermit being reversed here, it's time for us to come out of the cave. Like, it's time for us to explore new things, explore new ideas. I feel like you've been doing tons of introspection, tons of reflection, but I feel like we've almost have felt as if we found no answers. It's kind of like we're still confused about something. Like, why do I keep getting the same result? I don't know. And Spirit is saying that it's time to move forward. It's time to open up a new chapter. And I feel like you're being called to close out an old chapter. I feel like you're really being called for that. The Sun being reversed as well is actually such a great card, no matter if it's upright or reversed, and it indicates that the sun is still shining, even though there may be clouds around us and it may be sort of confusing and cloudy and rainy and the weather might not be what we want. The sun is still there. Even when the sun is behind the clouds, it's still there. And I'm also hearing a message that you've been dimming your light in order to be accepted or in order to fit in. And the Hermit kind of indicates that too, because it's almost like you've been putting yourself in a box and you've been sort of putting a blanket over your own light. And your light is basically the expression of who you really are, your true, authentic energy. And it's almost like you've been repressing that in order to either people please, or in order to make other people comfortable, or in order to avoid conflict, in order to avoid judgment or rejection, or any of the things like this. But the month of April is about releasing some of those like inhibitions that have been holding you back and allowing your light to shine truthfully, authentically, and fully, because Spirit right now is actually revealing to you that that's been your main resistance of why things haven't been fully happening for you, is we've been sort of dimming our light either for other people or in hopes that things are going to change on their own. But this is the month of putting your fate and your destiny into your own hands. The Wheel of Fortune indicates that the winds of change are upon us. And it also indicates that if we were on a downwards slope for the past little while, now it's time for an upward slope. But the upward slope only comes when we end old patterns, habits, and cycles, right? If we keep spinning the same wheel, we're gonna get the same results. It's time to change the wheel that we're spinning, to give ourselves a new fortune. I feel like a change in direction is coming up for you. A major change in direction. The Ace of Cups, when it's reversed, can indicate that we haven't really been focused on our personal fulfillment. And maybe there's been certain things in our life that have been draining our energy. They're draining our energy, they're draining our fulfillment, they're draining our life force, they're draining our creativity, everything, right? So when the Ace of Cups is reversed, it's like something has been siphoning your energy. And this could be a person that you've been around. This could be things that we've been doing that have been taking our energy rather than giving our energy. Maybe we feel like we haven't been even putting our best foot forward because we've been dimming our light. Maybe some of you have been dimming your light to the point where you haven't been putting your full effort in, or you haven't been even following your heart because it's kind of just felt like we're drained anyway. But this is the month of shifting out of that. The Six of Swords right here. This is the month of moving forward and going to better places. But a major theme within the Six of Swords talks about not looking back. We have to fully detach. We have to fully go into a new direction, and we can't entertain the past anymore. We can't entertain that old pattern or cycle anymore. I'm hearing that there has to be a major cut, I guess, or detachment from this old pattern or cycle. Like if we've been in a cycle of feeling sorry for ourselves, if we've been in a cycle of saying yes to something that keeps giving us the same result, if we've been stuck in whatever pattern or cycle that's been draining our energy and holding us back and not bringing us where we want to be, this could be an attitude, a mindset, a person, an event, a thing. This is the month of fully cutting it off so that you have the ability to move forward, so that you have the ability to actually fill your cup. This is the month of asking yourself, what really fulfills me? What really fulfills me? And what actually gives the results of that fulfillment? It's based on your choices and what you allow yourself, what you allow into your life, right? You may also have energy vampires in your life that seem to siphon and suck your energy out of you. And it's like, do we really want to keep entertaining that? Do we really want to keep putting our energy towards those people that don't really give anything back to us? I'm getting passionate here, so I'm getting passionate in this reading, but I really feel like some of you do have these sort of energy vampires where whenever you seem to talk to them, your energy just goes lower and lower and lower, and you feel like you almost need a nap after, or you need some sort of something to recoup your energy. And this is the month of going towards the things that actually give you energy and give you life. For example, energy doesn't come from rest and things like this. We can definitely rejuvenate some of our energy through rest and whatnot, but when we're doing something we love, when we spend energy, it doesn't always take our energy. For example, if we're doing something we love, for me, if I go to Disneyland and I'm at Disneyland all day, I seem to just have tons of energy and it's unlimited no matter how I felt in the morning, or doing something I love, such as making a video or I don't know, decorating things or something, going to the spa. I seem to have unlimited energy for certain things. Certain things, it's just it fills me up to do it, right? And what Spirit's saying for you is to focus and to put your time and energy towards the things that fill your cup rather than drain it. Of course, there's certain things in life where we do need to put our energy towards certain things, I do need to pay my bills. That doesn't really fill me up with energy, but at the same time, I kind of need to do it. But then there's other things that we have a choice with. If there's people that constantly drain us, we have a choice. We're not obligated to be there and, all that. You can choose where to put your energy. And this is the month of choosing to put your energy somewhere where it benefits you rather than somewhere where it drains you and takes away your energy. The next couple cards that we have patience and empathy. Ooh. Patience and empathy. One of the things with empathy that I'm feeling, if you're an empath, you may be a target for people to drain your energy. because we're empathic. Like we don't want to hurt anybody else, right? And I feel like that's why you've been cloaking your light and you've been sort of dimming your light, because we don't want to hurt people. We don't want to make people feel like uncomfortable, or we don't want rejection, or we don't want judgment and things like that, because we can feel it. And you might be somebody who's really intuitive and empathic to where you can feel what other people are feeling or thinking. But I feel like this is the month of becoming so strong in your energy, becoming so strong in your light that you don't need to dim it to be around other people. For example, the sun, it's fully shining no matter if there's clouds in the way or anything. Like it's fully shining. It's raining right now as I'm filming this, and the sun is still fully shining behind those clouds. This is about allowing yourself to fully shine no matter what is going on, and become so powerful in that, become so strong in that. The sun still sees, all the things, and it still has like the idea of being empathic, because it still sees everything and understands everything, but it doesn't dim its light. And then we also have this patience card here. So I feel like this is about patience with yourself, patience with the new road. I feel like some of you have tried to go on a new road, but then you kind of like fall back into maybe the old patterns or the old things. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with the opening of this new path in your life. I feel like April is also a month of calming your energy and allowing things to unfold, and to allow yourself to kind of like go down a new path, to allow the opening of a new path. We also have the birth card and prosperity. Ooh. Okay. The birth card, first off, is making me feel like there may be a significant birthday in the month of April. So there could be a friend, it could be you, it could be a family member or something, someone who has like a maybe significant birthday that's randomly like coming up in that card. But birth can also indicate the birthing of a new phase, the birth of a new you. It could also mean a literal birth, but that I feel like would be a message only for a small amount of you. But it can indicate like the birth of a new you, the creation of a new you, the birth of a new chapter, which I think is majorly coming in for you. Prosperity as well. If some of you have been struggling with finances or money, or just feeling prosperous within your own energy, I feel like that's something that's also shifting in the month of April, where there just is more energy flowing for you. Like all of a sudden you're going to feel prosperous and abundant in your energy. I think there's going to be more opportunities coming your way where you can actually make more prosperity. And I think a lot of that prosperity is going to be flowing in during the month of May through the actions that you're taking in the month of April. So that's another thing that I'm sort of feeling there. Let's go ahead and shuffle some more cards to get some more info on this reading. So group one, what else is happening for my group ones during the month of April? Let's see, group one. We have wisdom coming in with the zodiac sign of Leo and master number 22 coming in. Some of you may be really inclined to learn something new. I also think that you're gaining like real wisdom through what it is that you're going through. And if you've been really trying to seek answers on something, those answers are fully like coming through during the month of April. I also am hearing that some of you might get into like journaling or some sort of inner self-reflection that's going to offer some like really good wisdom for you as well. We also have the zodiac sign of Libra coming through with the card of success. I feel like if you've tried to go on a new path a few times and you were met with resistance, or you ended up just going backwards again anyway, this time is very different. I feel like you're making huge shifts to where you're going to be successful in this shift. You're going to be successful on this new path. I feel like you're finally at the point of like, there's no going back. This is going to be one of the most major shifts in your life. And if you're worried about making the wrong choice or anything like that, I really feel like through these cards, there's a huge message that you are making the right choice by moving forward, by cutting out the old patterns, and by not looking back. That's a huge message coming through. We also have triple twos, by the way. And the twos talk about actually planning a new path and going on a new path. So that's just pretty coincidental there, to say the least. And again, Libra might be a prominent zodiac sign for some of you as well. We also have Libra coming through again with the tomatoes, which is the love card. I feel like this is also a month of self-love, loving yourself enough to realize that you are worthy. You are worthy of achieving something great. You are worthy of attaining your dreams and your deepest desires. You are worthy of that. I feel like this is a month of feeling yourself and realizing that inner self-love. I feel like that's going to be a huge key to you. I'm also hearing realizing what love really is. That could either be associated with self-love, like what self-love really is, or love in general, what that really is, what that really means, what that really looks like. It's another message that's coming through there. So, let's get into our next deck of cards here. So group one. What else is happening in the month of April for my group ones? We have open. I think you're finding the way to open up a new path for you. And finding a way to actually, you're getting a key to like an answer that you've been looking for. It's almost like you've been questioning something like, what do I do in this particular situation? Or what choice do I make? Or how do I do this? Like there's been a big question in your mind of how do I accomplish this? Or how do I do this? What am I supposed to do? You are getting that answer in the month of April. We have two keys here. You're like unlocking a door that's been a mystery to you for a while. That door is also like a new path. I feel like you're discovering like a new path that you're meant to go down. Something that you didn't realize before or see before or understand before is becoming clear to you. And then we do also have compassion here. I feel like you're coming to a time of feeling good about yourself. Good about yourself. And also, you're feeling confident about the new path that you are going on without feeling judged or being held back by other people. I'm also hearing the word healing. Like some form of healing, inner healing. The key to opening yourself up again and trusting that something better exists for you, trusting that there's good times ahead. Oh, that's a huge message that's coming through actually. So group one, the month of April, you are going to be seeing and witnessing trust in your future. I think some of you have had a hard time with questioning whether or not your future holds something great for you again. I feel like some of you have been really attached to the past lately because you've experienced like goodness in the past, or maybe you've manifested something or experienced something that was really great. And maybe you're at a time of your life right now where maybe things aren't as like high as they used to be. And you've had a hard time trusting that you're ever going to reach that same high again, or that it's even possible for you to reach that same high again or even higher. There's been a hard time trusting that, and that's been one of the reasons why it's been hard for you to move forward. And what I'm hearing is that the month of April, you're going to be finding the key, the reassurance, the support, the the wisdom that's going to show you that your future does hold much greater than anything you've ever experienced before. It always has to, but it's about you moving forward and trusting in that, because otherwise we're not going to move forward. If we don't trust that something great is going to happen for us in the future, we're not going to move forward and we're going to stay stuck where we currently are. And do you want your current state of being to be all that there ever is in the future for you? Because if we stay stuck where we currently are, that's all we're ever going to be. But we have to trust that there's something greater. We have to trust that there's something so much more out there. And that's going to be when we actually take the action of moving forward and getting on that boat and letting that ship sail. That's a huge theme for you, is letting the ship sail, allowing yourself to move forward to new and better ideas. But it's about trusting that those exist. Trusting that you can get there and you can create that. You are not stuck. But you're stuck if you stay in the past. You're stuck if you don't move forward. But now's the time of moving forward. Now's the time of filling yourself with that much love, that much trust, that much wisdom, and knowing that your success, you're on the precipice of it. But it's about you moving towards it. And knowing that that's going to happen and that that is in the cards for you. And I'm here to tell you right now, it's in the cards for you. There's more success in the cards for you. You have not plateaued. The only time that we plateau, though, is when we stop moving forward. So now's the time. Continue moving forward. Continue building your path. And don't let small nuances or small challenges or setbacks hold you back. Setbacks always exist. Challenges always exist. Obstacles are always going to be there. But the only way to reach that new height is to keep moving forward and to trust and to know that the most amazing future does exist for you, even more amazing than your past. So that's another random message that wanted to come through there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our Astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that will be in your life through the month of April. So let's go ahead and roll this to see who or what those zodiac signs are. This could be a reflection of somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see. The first zodiac sign, we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. We have Aquarius, Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. And we have Gemini, Gemini, sun, moon, or rising. So those are our top 3 zodiac signs. Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Gemini, sun, moon, or risings seem to be the most prominent. So now let's go ahead and take all these Astro dice together to get any last information on this reading. So we have Neptune in Pisces in the 2nd house. This is dreaming of a new solid reality. The 2nd house is everything material, everything physical, whereas Neptune and Pisces are both very dreamy. So the message here for you is about getting so deep within your own imagination to where you can imagine the best physical real reality for yourself. And the more that you're able to see that and create that visually in your mind, you can make it a reality. Everything first starts within the mind before it ever exists physically. If you can dream it, you can do it. This is a month of getting into that dream state and realizing that your potential is so high, and then trusting in that, trusting in your vision, trusting in your dream, and realizing that you can make that a reality. So my loves, that is what we have for you, my beautiful group number 1s for your month of April. I am sending you so much love, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. All right, so my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so group number 2, we have the 8 of Swords upright, the Hermit upright, the 3 of Pentacles being reversed, the Fool upright, and then the 4 of Wands being reversed here. One of the first messages that I'm feeling right off the bat is that the month of April, you are so done with feeling restricted, with holding yourself back, with being closed off, and just from holding yourself back. Like you're so over feeling confined and feeling restricted and restricting yourself. The month of April is about your freedom calling back your power, calling back your ability to do what it is that you want and to move into the direction that you want and to follow your heart and to listen to what your inner guidance is calling you towards. Like, I feel like you have a deep inner guidance, but it's almost like we've felt restricted from something. Maybe we felt restricted from a person or from a place or a thing or whatever, but April's the month of allowing your freedom back and calling your freedom back, calling your power back. That is the theme for the month of April for you, is massively calling your power back, your energy, and your magic, your light, and allowing that to shine. The Eight of Swords next to the Hermit. You've been on a time of like a lot of inner reflection, a lot of finding yourself, discovering yourself. And I feel like you have this calling to discover yourself more. It's almost like there's an inner light within you that really wants to maybe explore a new idea or a new chapter of your life. Like there's this inner light that you have that's calling you in a particular direction, but we haven't taken action on it before. And it might be because, you know, for whatever reason, we haven't taken action on it before. The month of April, you're like, you know what? It's time for me to do this. It's time for me to do me. It's time for me to no longer restrict myself. You've been holding yourself back in other ways, and I feel like it's out of, you know, maybe a desire to people please or a desire to not have rejection or judgment or other things like this, whatever it is. This is the month where I feel like you're so just done with that and you no longer want to keep yourself in the same bubble as before. I also really feel like you may be feeling held back by other people. And April's the month to do you, to go into your own direction without a care in the world about what other people think of it. I feel like there may be somebody in your life, actually, like a specific person in your life that is not on the same path as you. And I feel like you've been feeling that. Like you've been feeling this sort of maybe disconnect or, yeah, this sort of feeling of you're not really going in the same direction. And I feel like you're done waiting around and you genuinely just really want your freedom back and you really want to live in your own individuality. I think you've been used to conforming. Like I'm getting this energy that we've been used to conforming ourselves for someone else, or we've been changing ourselves or holding ourselves back. And this is really a month of focusing on your freedom, focusing on what you want. Your life is about you, right? You're not born in this world to live your life serving others. You weren't born into this world to help uplift the lives of other people, although that is a beautiful thing. But at the same time, sometimes we get that message wrong because we don't realize that, you know, if you're not living your authentic truth and if you're not happy doing what you're doing, you can't uplift other people. You can't help other people, right? They're going to be just as miserable. They're not really going to change much. But if you can live in your light and you do what it is that you love to do, you authentically do what you love to do, you inspire other people to do the same. We're all responsible for our own happiness, right? We're all responsible for our own lives. And I really feel like you're stepping into your power this month. You're stepping into your ability to lead and to lead yourself, even if other people are not supporting you, even if other people are not going on that same path as you. It's not like we need to wait around for other people to be on our same page, because not everyone's going to jump to the same chapter as us. Not everyone's going to jump to the same page. And I feel like your page in your book is turning and you're going on a whole new path, a whole new chapter. And there may be people that aren't on that same path, but we need to have enough confidence in ourselves to go on out, to pursue our callings regardless, basically. To pursue our callings regardless. And I feel like group 2, you have a calling. You have a calling, but it's time to own it. It's time to discover that individuality and allow yourself to be an individual. I feel like you're really discovering who you are and you're really branching off and becoming an individual. And that's all like the precipice of what's happening in your life right now. I feel like you're at this turning point of you've been changing internally, but it's time to make the external action to reflect the internal changes you've been making. Group 2, I feel like you've made so many internal changes, and I feel like it's been happening over the last couple of years. You've made so many internal changes, and you're very different from who you used to be even a couple years ago. And I feel like you're being called to step up and to start being that person right now, and to step into that fully, basically, is what I'm sort of seeing here. So let's go ahead and get into our next couple cards. We also have the card of Sacred and Surrender. Ooh. Oh, I like this. Okay. Sacred and Surrender. I feel like one of the biggest things, because sometimes we try to control our lives because we think we know what's best. And sometimes we're like, why can't things just go my way? Why can't things just be easy? And even though you may be going through a hard time right now, because sometimes it's hard to branch off in a new direction when we're so used to the old way of being, right? And sometimes it's hard to branch off in a new direction when everyone we know isn't really on the same path as us anymore. Sometimes it's difficult. But the message here for the month of April is to allow, to surrender to the higher wisdom, the higher power. And if we have this calling to go off in this new direction, it's about surrendering to that and allowing that to come through, right? And then realizing that, your energy is sacred. Who you are is sacred. I also feel like surrendering to the sacred energies that are at play right now is a huge thing. And allowing that beautiful energy to come through and to guide you, that inner light that you feel. Like if you have a calling like, oh, I really want to do this, or I really want to do this. But then if you have those fears that come up that say like, oh, don't do that because you're going to be judged for that. Or don't do that because you might run into rejection. Or don't do that because you might fail. Whatever the case may be, it's about surrendering to the fact that sure, I might fail, but at least I'm following what I desire. At least I'm following my calling. And even if you run into a challenge or you fail at something, it doesn't stop you from getting up and trying again, right? The only true failure is when we stop trying. That's what failure is when you stop trying at something. Of course, we're going to run into mishaps, challenges, and learning curves and all these different things. Everyone does. Nobody's perfect at something, right off the bat. So allowing yourself that room to grow, I think that's going to be a huge message for you. We also have passion and clarity. If some of you have been really wanting to awaken your inner passion, the month of April is about awakening that inner passion and tapping into that and allowing yourself to explore that more. I also feel like as you go down this new path, more is just going to unfold for you as you go down this new path. I keep hearing the word learning in my head, so some of you might go through a moment in April where you feel like researching something or studying something or signing up for a class, or maybe you're going to watch something and it evokes a level of learning within you. I keep hearing the word learning coming up, so that could also be another thing that's going to be important in the month of April and something that's going to happen. I'm hearing April 15th and April 25th are going to be significant dates. The 15th and the 25th. Or at least sometime around those times. I feel like there's some sort of significance around that. Maybe there's going to be an epiphany pop up in your head, or that might be a significant time of moving forward on something like this. So let's go ahead and shuffle our next few cards to get some more info. So that was actually really fast. Okay, we have Tranquility. This one's connected to Pisces, which is all about daydreaming kind of stuff. We also have Aries, the zodiac sign Aries, coming up with Stimulation. I feel like some of you have a low attention span lately. Not maybe always, but lately I'm getting that there's a very low attention span. And I feel like some of you feel like you've been spending too much time on social media or too much time on your phone, too much time on the internet. Some of you almost lack energy unless you're getting stimulation. And some of you, I feel like you've been staying up really late at night, like scrolling. That's something that's like coming to my mind right now, staying up late and scrolling. And then in the mornings when you're trying to do stuff, your energy is really low. And Spirit's coming through saying that it's all about stimulation. The internet tends to be very stimulating because we see a lot of different things really, really, really fast. And it keeps our mind really occupied and it keeps the gears turning. So one thing Spirit is saying is if you want more attention span within other things, such as like working on a project, reading a book, or something else that maybe requires a longer attention span, it's about finding ways to stimulate your energy, to stimulate your mind during those things. So, for example, sometimes when I'm working on a project, what I like to do is sometimes I'll turn on Harry Potter ambience music to make me feel like I'm in Hogwarts, and I'll light different candles around my room and have different ambient lighting, and I'll literally make it seem like I'm in Hogwarts, and I will pretend, this sounds so funny, but I will pretend that I'm like a wizard working on like a wizard project. Or if I'm reading a book, I'll pretend that I'm like literally in Hogwarts reading a book, you know? So there's different ways of stimulating yourself to keep your mind sort of like really entertained or occupied while you're doing something. I find those things are like kind of helpful for myself. But of course, sometimes you also need a little bit of a dopamine detox in order to get your attention span back up. Because sometimes when we're way too overloaded with dopamine, we can end up draining our dopamine, which dopamine helps us focus, right? And if you're curious about all this information, highly recommend checking out Andrew Huberman. He has a podcast that he posts really long episodes here on YouTube, all about like neuroscience and brain chemistry and focus and attention span and all these different things. But sometimes when we detox from dopamine, our brain has the ability to build that dopamine back up, and then our threshold is much lower and our attention span is a lot longer. But sometimes we need to kind of detox from dopamine. So that's another random thing that I'm sort of hearing here. I'm also hearing getting proper rest and relaxation is going to be really important through the month of April. That's another thing that's coming up, getting proper rest and relaxation. Finding ways to calm yourself before bedtime in order to get optimal sleep. That's another thing that's happening or coming through. And creating more spice in the things that you know you should be doing, you know, instead of like scrolling on your phone. I feel like some of you have these certain plans, like, oh, I'm going to read a book at night, or I'm going to go to the gym in the morning, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But then when it comes down to it, we end up getting distracted. There's been distractions stopping you. And then it's kind of like we get frustrated that we didn't end up doing what we wanted to. But it's about making the thing that we know we should be doing and the thing that we actually truly want to be doing, making it a little bit more spicy, making it a little bit more fun, because that's almost going to draw our attention over there, right? So how can we make it more spicy, more fun? For me, to get motivation to go to the gym, for example, I will like sometimes imagine my body being exactly the way that I want it to be, and think about that reward and how that would feel. And then I get really pumped up and motivated to go. And then again, I just really like adding magic to my life. So I will make myself feel magical in some way, shape, or form. And I'll be like, ooh, yeah, I'm like, this all sounds so funny, but I'll be like, okay, like I'm a fairy going to the gym and I'm gonna make myself look amazing and bomb. But that's just, you know, the way that I find entertainment and stimulation in my imagination. So it's all about you and what really works for you. But those are some of the things that really work for me to bring in more like stimulation into my life and in my mind. So let's go ahead and see some next few cards for you. So group 2, what else do we have going on in the month of April? Oh my gosh, how weird is that? That's wildly crazy. We have stimulate and stimulation. There is not a lot of card decks that I own. In fact, these might be the only 2 card decks that I own that both have like stimulate cards. That's really weird. Also, sorry that my phone is going off right now. Okay, so again, lots of things pointing at stimulation, and being stimulated by the things that you want to move towards, the things that you find exciting. I'm also hearing that something's going to be happening during the month of April that really stimulates you. It's something that's really exciting. And I feel like you are not going to know what it is yet. And I feel like a lot of you have no idea what it's going to be yet, because it's going to be kind of spontaneous and pop up all of a sudden in your life. But I'm really feeling like something really stimulating and exciting. This could be like new information. This could be an invitation to something. This could be an event happening. There's something though, and I feel like it's going to happen between the 15th and 22nd of April. Most likely within that time frame. Some of you, it may happen a little sooner or a little bit later, but I feel like that's like the most concentrated like time frame. But there's going to be something really exciting happening and coming in. We also have abundance and cleanse. Some of you may also be called to like do like spring cleaning or like an inner cleanup of some kind within your home or within yourself. Making room for more in your life and making room for like a better energy. I feel like a lot of you are moving towards inviting in a much better energy into your life through the month of April. I feel like you're just going to be calling in new energy, better energy into your life. And I think a lot of it has to deal with the fact that you are listening to your inner callings and moving more towards that. And I just feel like it's paying off. It's really paying off for you through this next month. So that is what we have there. Now let's go ahead and get into our Astro dice. We're going to take our zodiac sign dice and we're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that'll be in your life through the month of April. So let's go ahead and see what those top 3 signs are. This could be a reflection of someone's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see. We have Virgo coming up. We have Aries, so Aries, Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, and Leo. So Aries, Virgo, and Leo, sun, moon, or rising seem to be the most prominent zodiac signs either in your life, or they may be a reflection of your own zodiac signs as well. So those could be prominent in some way, shape, or form for you. Now let's go ahead and roll all these dice together to get any last information here. Okay, so we have Jupiter in Capricorn in the 2nd house. The 2nd house seems to be coming up a lot for me whenever I roll these dice. So that's a little funny, a little crazy right there. But Jupiter in Capricorn in the 2nd house, this is about really expanding yourself, expanding your horizons, and expanding what's possible for you. Whenever this comes up, there could also be a new opportunity coming forward for us in terms of making money. So there may be a new idea, new opportunity, or new project that we might think of that we're like, oh, that could like increase my abundance in some way. This could also indicate like being gifted something. Maybe we're being gifted something that we really want or that we're like really excited about. That could also be another Jupiter in Capricorn in the 2nd house type of thing. But this is definite expansion, materially or monetarily, that will be coming in for you through the month of April as well. And I feel like this will be coming in by the end of April for a lot of you, like April 28th is what I'm hearing for this one. But yes, this is what we have here, my beautiful, beautiful group number 2s. So that is what we have for your month of April of 2023. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it offered some guidance or wisdom for you, and I am sending you all so much love, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! Alright, so group number 3, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, all about what you can expect through the month of April of 2023. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. All right, so group 3, we have the Ace of Swords, Four of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and then the Fool being reversed over here. One of the first things that I want to say, when we start off with the Ace of Swords, this can have a lot of different meanings. This is all really exciting though. If you've been wanting to hear a yes from something, if you've been needing confirmation on something, if you've been needing confirmation that everything's going to be okay, that you are going to pass, that you are going to make it, that things are going to work out, this is yes. The Ace of Swords can also indicate contractual agreements. So you might be signing something, agreeing to something, getting the okay. And the Ace of Swords can also indicate that we're making a promise to ourselves. When it's next to the Four of Wands, this is setting up a whole new foundation for us. And I feel like this foundation is setting us up for these next few months. Like this foundation is like, ooh, this is great. And this could also indicate some kind of celebration. So there could be something happening in your life, like some sort of yes, some sort of pass, some sort of okay, maybe an agreement or a signing of something that's going to lead to some form of celebration or feeling really proud, and the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling like you've set something up for your future that you can sit back and relax for a bit. I feel like a lot of you have been maybe really putting a lot of energy or a lot of hope into something. And the month of April, it's kind of like we can sit back and be like, whew, I made it. I did it. I am here. I can sit back and relax for a second. I can sit back and celebrate, because you truly deserve to celebrate this particular moment. Like this is something exciting. This is something fun. This is something that's, you know, setting you up for more success in the future. Some of you, I'm also feeling like there may be like a fun date happening. I'm hearing April 11th. Could be like an exciting time of celebration. It could be an exciting time of like an actual physical date. You know, with someone, especially since it's next to the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups can indicate that there's a lot of emotional interest in something, or that we're feeling emotionally excited and that our emotions are carrying us forward in a really good way. Like, I feel like whatever this is that's happening more towards the beginning of April, I feel like, there's going to be a lot of good emotion that allows us to carry forward even more. The Eight of Cups, however, is also really interesting. And then the Fool being reversed. I feel like you're on the quest for more. You're on the quest for more. I feel like you're wanting to create better and better circumstances for yourself, and you're on the rise. You're on the climb. Like you're climbing a mountain to reach better and better heights. The Eight of Cups can indicate that we may still feel like something is maybe missing. Maybe we're still on the quest for something, although we've achieved a lot already, because the Eight of Cups talks about having achieved a lot already. But yet we may still be on a journey of like, okay, but it's not fully complete yet. It's not fully done yet. There's still some finishing touches that I have to add on this, or there's still some other things that I have to quest for. So the Knight of Cups with the Eight of Cups can definitely indicate some sort of quest for something. The quest for full fulfillment. It's like we almost got all the pieces together, but there's just one last little thing. So it can definitely indicate that kind of energy. And I'm hearing around April 18th is sort of the beginning of this quest energy of us seeking how to make full fulfillment for ourselves, how to make a full emotional fulfillment for us. You know what I'm actually like sort of really seeing in here? It's kind of like when you reach this and you're like, oh, I can sit back, take a breath, I feel so accomplished. But then I feel like you're the type of person that very quickly after accomplishing something, you're like, okay, on to the next thing, on to the next chapter, on to the next quest. And I feel like that's going to be something that sort of happens in the month of April. It's kind of like we make a big accomplishment, and there is this moment of like breathing in the relief and the proudness and the celebration, and then kind of right after it's like, all right, now time to get to the next step, the next level. So that's just something I'm sort of seeing in here. I feel like you tend to be a little bit of an overachiever, and you tend to hold yourself to a really high standard, and I feel like you're somebody who's a big dreamer, And although you really enjoy celebrating things and accomplishments, I feel like you're also someone who's like constantly on the go and you push yourself to new heights a lot. Also with this Fool card here being reversed, this can indicate that there's been something that we need to have more faith in. Like, there could be something in your life that's really calling you to have more faith, really calling you to have more belief in yourself and your ability to achieve it. This could be something that you've been wanting to attain for a long time, and Spirit's just saying, this is time to have faith in this. This is time to trust that you're going to get to the outcome that you want. Having more trust in that. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what our next two cards are, or three cards actually. We have Divinity, Inspire, and Balance. I feel like Spirit's really coming through with a message of like, find magic wherever you are. Find magic within everything, and to make the most out of every situation that you're in. There's like such a big message from, I feel like, your spirit guides coming through, just saying to make the most out of every moment and realize that there's like more juice in the lemon than you may realize. I feel like, okay, I'm getting this image of literally squeezing a lemon, and you know, you can like squeeze it a little bit and you'll get like a few drops or whatever, and then some people like throw it out because it looks all juiced out. But then if you like really put it into one of those like juicers, the things that like actually squeeze the lemon, you'd be surprised how much more juice that it yields. Like, it's mind-blowing how much juice is still left in there. And I'm kind of getting this image in my head that you may move on really quickly from things that are, or not necessarily that you may move on really quickly, but more of a message like there's more juice in every moment than we may realize. So if we're feeling like, I don't know, if we feel like one of our accomplishments is kind of like, oh, okay, like time to move on, like I did that, It's like, no, there's so much more juice that you could squeeze out of that moment, so much more joy that you can create. And for some reason, that's a message coming through, is to squeeze the lemons. Like, enjoy yourself. Allow yourself to feel joy. Allow yourself to enjoy your accomplishments and bask in them, right? Like, that's a big message coming through, is like, you deserve to bask in your accomplishments. You deserve to feel proud of yourself for a lot longer than you regularly allow yourself to feel proud. You deserve to experience that for longer. We also have choices and recognition coming up for you. Choices and recognition. So with choices and recognition, I feel like some of you are on this like path where you're really debating something in your life. Maybe you're debating like, do I continue pursuing this other thing, or do I decide to completely shift and change my path and maybe cut something out? Or maybe like, I feel like some of you have been stuck at a crossroads for maybe a little bit with something in your life. There's been like some kind of crossroads there. I feel like what's coming through is Spirit is saying, I also feel like there's a divine like split happening. And what I mean by this, like, let me explain this for a second. This choices card is making me feel like through the month of April, there's almost this divine like split that's happening in your life where you could go on two different timelines basically. And I feel like you're going to be really taking the high road here, because I think there's going to be a really big realization that you have that you deserve more. You deserve more than something that's kind of not fully fulfilling for you. The Eight of Cups is really making me feel like there's still something in your life that's not really bringing the fullest of fulfillment. And you're going on this split where I think that you're going to be on this new path of going higher. on this new path of knowing that you deserve more. Recognition is really sticking out to me because it's kind of like realizing that you deserve more, that you deserve more recognition, that you deserve more appreciation, and going on the path of realizing like, hey, I deserve that, so I need to start giving myself that. I need to start pursuing that. Knowing what I deserve. I feel like you're up-leveling like your value and what it is that you deserve. And I feel like it's bringing you to a new height energetically. And I feel like it's literally bringing you on a new path in life because you're appreciating yourself more and because you're sort of up-leveling your standards. It's going to push you onto a new path in your life where things are going to start upholding to that new standard that you have for yourself. This is going to be where you start getting the recognition you deserve. This is going to be where you start finding that balance and that divinity within yourself, the inspiration within yourself, and realizing like, hey, I deserve to enjoy myself. I deserve to give myself love, and I deserve to receive love. And the things that aren't giving me love, you know, maybe it's time to move on from those and replace them with things that do fully give me what I want, that do fully give me the love that I deserve. For some reason, that message is coming through. That might be a side message just for some of you. Maybe it's not really relevant for other people. I felt like that was such a specific thing coming through. But either way, I feel like that was definitely a message for some of you. So let's go ahead and see what else we get. Group three. What else is happening in the month of April? We have passion coming through with the zodiac sign of Leo. So Leo, sun, moon, or rising could be significant in your life. That could be you, or maybe speaking about another person in your life. I feel like there's a big message here of following your passions. We also have gratitude with a Gemini. So Gemini, sun, moon, or rising could also be significant for some of you. Gratitude and passion. I feel like there's going to be a realization that you have in the month of April of like, look at how good I already have it. And I feel like there's going to be this breakthrough moment of realizing like, hey, I've accomplished a lot in my life so far. And there's like this window or doorway that you're walking through of realizing like how amazing you are. Honestly, this recognition card, I feel like this is you giving yourself the recognition that you've been deserving. And being grateful for the accomplishments that you've made. And I feel like Spirit is coming through right now. I know this is not like an advice reading. This is like a month reading. But I feel like Spirit is really coming through right now, saying how proud they are of you. And saying like, hey, sit down and have some gratitude for yourself. Like give yourself a pat on the back. You have made it so far in life already. You have done so freaking much, and I feel like you haven't taken enough time to like celebrate that. And another thing that I'm hearing from Spirit is have a day where you really treat yourself and really celebrate how far you've made it and the accomplishments that you've achieved so far. I also feel like you may be receiving some sort of compliment or some sort of like sincere message from someone who's just gonna kind of give so much recognition to you, so much appreciation and gratitude for you in their life. And it's kind of like this, Spirit wants to tell you, it's kind of like this wake up call of like, realize how good you are in life and realize how much you've already done and realize like all of the goodness, because you really deserve that. You really, really deserve that. And I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit. Group number 3. I feel like you really don't give yourself enough credit. And Spirit is saying that this month is also about finding balance of like, hey, sometimes we don't need to like be so hard on ourselves all the time of like moving forward so quickly or going on to the next thing so quickly. You really deserve to like take some time to celebrate your achievements, to celebrate your accomplishments and have gratitude for how far you've already come in life. I feel like that's such a big message coming through from Spirit today. And Spirit just really wants you to know that and to really embrace that within the month of April. Like this is your month of like, hey, let's shine. Let's take the spotlight for a second. And let's spotlight myself and start to realize like how far you've already come and like what you've already done and accomplished. We also have attraction. I feel like there's something that you've been wanting for a long time that's going to start coming into your life, and you're going to start seeing signs that it's coming in. Enthusiasm. There's something that you're going to be excited about that's happening in April. Something exciting. It's like, oh, ooh, I can't wait for that. It's like, oh, that's happening. Like, there's literally that type of energy of being like a little kid in a candy store and being like, oh my gosh, look at all this. That's something that I really see happening for you. Just this genuine excitement for what's happening or something that you're accomplishing. I feel like there's such a genuine excitement coming in and attracting something. I feel like there's an anticipation. Anticipation is the word that I'm looking for. There's a genuine anticipation for something. And I feel like it's going to be quite exciting for you. So I feel like honestly pulling more cards for your group to kind of just see like what else we have going on. So I'm going to grab this deck right here. Let's see if we can get any more information for you. So group 3, anything else happening for group 3 in the month of April? Let's see, group 3. Okay, we have 3 cards come out here. So let's see what these are. We have overflow. You will soon be thriving with an overflow of abundance and blessings. What did I just tell you? Like, what were we just talking about? And it's so funny that this has a number 16 on it, because while I was saying that, I kept thinking about April 16th, and I was going to mention that, and then it just sort of like passed by. But the fact that it's coming up in this card again, April 16th may be an important date, or sometime around mid-April. You will soon be thriving with an overflow of abundance and blessings. Blue whale, a call to share your voice and speak your truth. There could be something that you've been holding on to that you really need to get off your chest in the month of April. I feel like this is also going to happen around more mid-April for most of you. But it's almost like you've been holding on to something. Something's been on your chest. Something's been on your mind. And there's going to come a time in April where you're like, I just really need to get this off my chest. I really need to say this. I really need to get this out. And it's going to help you move forward a lot. It's going to help create big shifts in your life that set forward a new wave for you, a new wave of movement, a new direction. And it's all coming through like getting something off your chest. We also have soul recognition. There are souls moving towards you who will divinely help you on your path. This can indicate making new friends. It can also indicate people that we already know kind of coming through and giving us really good advice and helping us kind of see the answers that we've been seeking, helping us answer the questions that we've had. So you could be getting some really good advice from some people in your life that really help you move past something. That's also what's coming up there. So now, let's go ahead and roll our Astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that will be in your life through the month of April. This could be a reflection of somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's go ahead and see what we get for you. All right, we have Gemini, so Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. We also have Cancer, Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. And then we have Aquarius. So Gemini, Cancer, and Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising seem like they're going to be very prominent or dominant zodiac signs in your life through the month of April. And now let's go ahead and roll these all together to get any last information for you. Okay, so we have Uranus in Leo in the second house. I swear every time I roll these dice, the second house just keeps coming up. Like I'm at a loss for words. We just keep having the second house coming up and coming up. But anyway, let's get into what this is. So Uranus in Leo. This is some really big change that is going to be highlighted in your life. You may also have this feeling like you need to make a physical change, or that you need to plan for some sort of change in your life. Uranus always indicates a very big change, though. It's a big change. And the second house can indicate like a physical change. This can indicate moving to a new place. This can indicate making a real physical change with maybe the people that are in our life, or deciding to go on a new path. This could also be a big shift in your finances in some way. So maybe we're going to make new choices here that create really drastic results in our future, which I actually feel like is very accurate. In fact, when I said that, I felt like spirit was just like, yes, 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 that's what it is. I think you're going to be making choices during the month of April financially that are going to create big shifts for you over the next couple years. This could be deciding to save more money or to invest in something along the lines of this, but it's going to create really big change for you in the future. And being in the sign of Leo, I feel like this is like exciting change where things are going to enhance or be highlighted in some way. So that is what we have here for you, my beautiful group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here today for your April prediction. I hope this reading offered some insights or guidance, and I am sending you so much love, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, so group number 4, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for the month of April. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so group 4, we have the Knight of Swords being reversed, the Devil being reversed, Temperance upright, the Two of Pentacles upright, and then the Four of Cups upright. So let's get into what's in store for you for the month of April. So when we have the Knight of Swords being reversed, this is when we kind of go through a time of reflecting on past choices. There may have been something that either we rushed into, or we may have a habit of acting impulsively with something that we know isn't really that good for us, especially when it's next to the Devil being reversed as well. This could be some impulse actions such as toxic habits or a toxic pattern that isn't really good for us, and maybe we're going to be doing some reflecting during the month of April and sort of seeing like, maybe that's not the best choice, and maybe I should sort of find more moderation and balance within this. The month of April is definitely finding more moderation and balance and health in your life. There could be something that has been sort of a pattern or sort of a cycle for you. This could be like doing things that keep leading us to the same outcome. Or this could be a toxic person in our life that maybe we haven't set proper boundaries with. This could also be a toxic habit or indulging in toxic substances that are literally just not good for us, and they've been weighing us down. And again, this is sort of something that comes through impulse. This is something that might come spontaneously, and I think that the month of April is literally the month of putting your foot down, making boundaries, creating more balance and moderation. The Temperance is so different than the Devil card. The Devil card is being so attached to things that aren't good for us, whereas Temperance is like, we need things in moderation, we need things in balance in order to get us to move forward, right? It's sort of like the concept of, do I eat to live or do I live to eat? That's like a big philosophical question. But the thing is that if we just eat to live, then we're not really enjoying life. It's kind of like, do I go to work to live or do I live to go to work? You can ask that question for anything. So when it comes to things in our life, it's about balance. It's about learning how to balance them, learning how to create the right boundaries, learning how to, and when it comes to like toxic people, it's like, maybe we can love them from afar, right? Maybe we don't need them in our life constantly. It's kind of this sort of concept of realizing that we need to create balance, moderation with something. So there is something that Spirit wants to point towards that may require a bit more attention, more balance, and more moderation through the month of April. The Four of Cups is kind of indicating that we may be bored with something. We may be finding ourselves getting a bit bored and not knowing what to do. And we may resort back to whatever this is because maybe it offers some excitement or maybe it cures our boredom. And some of you may fear like, well, I don't know what to do otherwise. Like, yeah, I don't know what to do otherwise. There's that sort of feeling. The month of April, Spirit is really pointing to finding ways to replace this old habit. If there's a toxic habit you want to let go of, and if you've been struggling with letting go of it, such as we try to let go of it, but then we somehow just keep coming back to it, particularly Spirit is saying that it's because it fills a void for us. And every time that we leave it behind, then all of a sudden we have that void and we're like, I don't know what to do. So in order to actually fully overcome this, in order to overcome this pattern, we need to replace it with something else. So if this bad habit is eating sweets, let's just use that as an example. This could be anything though, but let's say the example is eating sweets. All of a sudden, if we let that go, and then, after dinner, we might be craving something sweet, and we're like, well, shit, now I just feel like I'm suffering every evening. I feel like I'm going through a time of suffering. But it's because we need to replace it with something else. So what can we replace that void with? What can we do that's healthy, right? So let's not all of a sudden take up like eating chips instead of eating cookies, because both of those are kind of equally as bad, but just in different ways. But let's replace it with something healthy, maybe eating fruit in the evening. Fruit, it still has that sweetness, but it's definitely a lot better for us than, cookies or a cake or something. So learning how to replace it. If we have a habit of like drinking a glass of wine every night, but let's say that we know that that's not good for us and that it's kind of becoming a little bit of a habit. Of course, if we stop doing that, then we're like, oh, but what else is going to take away the ease? What's going to take away the tension? Maybe getting involved in something like taking a bath and doing a face mask and maybe having a hot cup of tea while you're doing that, because it's still something to sip on. It's something, that we can still bring with us to take the edge off. There's different teas that take the edge off too, right? So it's replacing, learning how to replace this. If this is a relationship that we need to let go of, learning how, what can we replace that with? Maybe it's, instead of calling that person to try to talk to them when I feel lonely, maybe I can call my family. Maybe I can call a best friend and make that connection deeper rather than going back to that same old person. That may not be very good for us, right? So there's all these different examples or things that we could do to kind of, get us on the right track again. And the month of April is about getting yourself on the right track, okay? Getting yourself on the healthy track of doing things that are good for you. And again, the message from Spirit is about finding something to replace the other thing that we're letting go of in order for us to create permanent, lasting change where we're not suffering through the change. So yes, that's what came up as well. Let's go ahead and get into our next few cards here. We're going to get into these ones next. We have forgiveness. Ooh. And then we also have wisdom. When the forgiveness card comes up, I feel like hugely this is about forgiving yourself. Some of you have been really hard on yourself to the point where you've been sort of oppressive with yourself. And what I'm hearing is about forgiving yourself, loving yourself through it, encouraging yourself through the month. Forgiving yourself for your past and for your choices. Some of you, I feel like you still have anxiety on past events. And I feel like lately you may have been getting like memories in your head of the past and thinking about like, oh, that's cringy, or oh, how can I be so stupid, or oh, I regret that, or whatever it is, right? Spirit is really coming through right now being like, this is the month of just forgive yourself, let it go, realize that everyone has these stupid mistakes. You cannot avoid them. It's all part of life. It's part of growing. It's part of being a human, but love yourself through it. Forgive yourself through it. And when you forgive yourself for your past mistakes and for all of like what's happened so far in your life, if you can truly forgive yourself, that is when you can absorb the wisdom of the lesson. And that's when the wisdom is going to start coming through for you. That's the moment that the lesson becomes clear, is when you can truly, truly forgive yourself, then the lesson just becomes clear. I also feel like through the month of April, something else that I'm hearing is you may be really curious through the month of April, and you might be really curious of like, oh, I want to learn new things. And I'm hearing a lot of you might be really interested in psychology for whatever reason. So if that's an interest for you, I feel like that's an interest you're going to be diving into deeper through the month of April. Let's go ahead and see what else we get. We have, aptitude and tenderness. So aptitude is like your ability to do something. The fact that that card is coming up, your ability to do something. Some of you doubt your ability to overcome old obstacles. I think you've tried to do certain things before and maybe you've ran into hardship or failure or whatever. You really have what it takes. I'm actually, Spirit is giving me this image in my head of like Hercules or some sort of like superhero or like god of some kind or goddess or whatever, but they're pointing to your strength. It's like a representation of you. I feel like Spirit is saying that you're beginning to awaken your inner strength and your inner power, and to realize that you've barely even scratched the surface of what you're really capable of. You've already achieved great things in your life, but Spirit really wants to point out that your capabilities reach far beyond that. And sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you doubt yourself and you doubt your ability to accomplish things. Spirit is really coming through right now being like, hey, do you realize that you are so much more powerful than what you give yourself credit for? Some of you also, I feel like you have imposter syndrome. So when it comes to doing the things that you really want to do and that you desire to do, I feel like you may doubt your ability. You may think like, oh, I need to learn more before I can do that. Or I need to be a master before I can step into that role. Or, you just doubt your ability a lot. You doubt that you're capable or that you're worthy. And Spirit is coming through so strong, saying like, hey, you've made it so far already. You have a lot of wisdom and knowledge already that you could be sharing to the world, that you should recognize in order to begin to trust yourself more. Also, snakes might be a really common spirit animal for you right now. Some of you may be dreaming about snakes or seeing snakes around. Something like this where snakes might be like a prominent theme, or you may notice snakes being a prominent theme through April. And if you ever see those snakes resemble, for one, up-leveling, climbing the ladder and being able to swim up. They also represent healing, and they also represent that we are our own antidote to whatever our suffering is. That is a huge message within the snake, because it's interesting how with snakes, if you get a snake bite, a lot of the times you need that venom in order to actually make the antidote to that snake bite. And one of the messages that the snake spirit animal has, whatever your current suffering is, you hold within you the antidote to overcome that and to end that suffering. You hold that power. You hold that ability. So anytime you see the snake around, it's a reminder of that. And it's also a reminder of cycles, breaking out of cycles and having the ability to start a new cycle. Okay? That is the snake energy. There's also a message of don't bite off more than you can chew. So take things a day at a time, but also realize you have the ability to accomplish big things, but it's about making steps at a time, taking steps at a time. Like, okay, I'm going to do this step. Now I'm going to do this step, and realizing that you have the ability to do that. You have the ability. Yeah, that's another side message. Anyway, we also have the tenderness card coming through. I feel like there may be moments through the month of April where you're going to get really in touch with the more deeper emotional aspects of yourself. You're going to be tapping into deeper emotional things and maybe realizing where certain emotions truly stem from. I feel like this is a month of healing, forgiving your past, forgiving other people, and greatly forgiving yourself. But yeah, I'm also hearing a message of getting deeper in touch with your emotional side in a way that's going to be very healing for you. So let's go ahead and see what else we get. So we have agreement. This is associated with the zodiac sign of Libra. So Libra, sun, moon, or rising may be a prominent zodiac sign for you that might come up in your life through the month of April. We also have duality, and this is the zodiac sign. Where is the zodiac sign of this one? Am I blind? I'm literally not seeing a zodiac sign on this one. Maybe there's no zodiac sign for this one. I don't know. If you see a zodiac sign on there, let me know. But the duality and agreement. The agreement card, there could be something that we're making a promise. I feel like a written promise or an agreement to yourself, kind of like something that you're sticking to. I feel like there's going to be a really important promise that you make either to yourself or to someone else. I also feel like there's going to be a moment where you're getting on the same page as somebody, maybe discussing something in order to get onto the same page as someone else. This card's also majorly reminding me of healing. Healing something. Healing your health is coming up through this card. Healing your health. I don't know why I'm also hearing the minerals in your body, like focusing on getting all the minerals that you need. I don't know why that's coming up. That might be a message for some of you, maybe not all of you, but for some reason when I'm looking at this card, my mind keeps thinking minerals for whatever reason. So that may be a message for some of you, but it's definitely making me think about health. I'm also, there's a message from Spirit saying that you have the ability to switch your health to something really good in the month of April. You have the ability to flip the switch and to make drastic positive change in your health in the month of April. So I don't know why that's coming up. Again, that might be a message for some of you, maybe not all of you, but that's definitely something I'm hearing also in that card. Let's see if we get anything else here. Group 4. Group 4, group 4, group 4. Also have attraction, another Libra sign coming up. Wow, lots of Libra energy. Attraction, following something exciting. There might be something fun coming up, like a fun idea or something that you're going to be looking forward to in the month of April. Like an invitation or an event that you're looking forward to in April. I feel like you're attracting a very positive circumstance your way and a very positive, there's going to be like a very particular day in April that I feel like is going to be very fun and exciting for you, that you're going to be really looking forward to. We also have healing coming up and meditation. What was I saying about healing earlier? I was really feeling like there's some form of healing. It could be emotional healing. It could be physical healing. It could be mental healing. And meditation. I definitely feel like one of the prominent things coming up is mental healing. Healing your mind. Calming your emotions. Finding inner balance. I'm hearing that you're going to hear the other side of a story. The other side of a story in order to get clarity and understanding. That's also something coming through. So there may be something going on maybe with someone in your life, somebody important in your life, where you're going to hear and understand the other side of a story. Or maybe someone else is going to hear and understand you better. There's some sort of healing when it comes to understanding two sides of a scenario. There's some sort of healing coming along with that as well. So that's another message coming through there. And with that being said, I do feel like also going into this deck as well. I did this for the last group too. Pulled out this deck, so I wanted to do it for you as well. So let's see what we get here. We have Sea of Glass, embracing the beauty of stillness and inner peace. Ooh, there's some drama that's leaving your life in April. some sort of drama that's leaving your life. I feel like a lot of you, you're like, I just want to be drama free. And there's a cleansing happening. There's a cleansing happening where you're letting go of drama. Some kind of drama where things are becoming clear, things are becoming clean. And it's like we can breathe a fresh breath of air. Breathing a fresh breath of air. And let's see, maybe one more card for you. Letting go of drama. Let's see, any last cards for my group 4s for April? Really feeling that one. We have moon water. Ooh, attune yourself. Self-care will aid your manifestations and reveal hidden desires. Ooh. Taking care of yourself. When we take care of ourselves, we get ourselves back into like this clear energy. And when we have clear energy, we're better able to tap into our intuition, better able to tap into our own soul. And that's where we can really see like what our true desires are. Sometimes when we're around a lot of other people, or we're constantly around other people, we can take on that energy and it can cloud our energy. And we might think we want something, but it might not actually be what we want. But it's because we're so clouded by another energy that it's confusing our own interpretation of our energy. We might think that we're one way when we're not. So basically what this card is saying is like getting rid of drama. I feel like this is really connected to the Sea of Glass card. Getting rid of drama and cleansing yourself, such as, taking time to meditate, taking time for self-care where you're alone and you can step back into your own energy and shed anything else. Like taking a shower, taking a bath really helps with that. And I feel like this is going to really help you gain clarity. Having like quiet peace where you're doing some self-care is going to give you a lot of clarity on yourself and your own energy, to where you're going to better understand who you are and what you desire. And it's going to really help clear up your path and your particular unique energy so that you can feel more in alignment and in flow. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our astro dice here. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that'll be in your life through the month of April. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see what we get for you. We have Virgo coming up, so Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. We have Aries coming up, Virgo, Aries, sun, moon, or rising. We have Virgo coming up again, so tons of healing for you. Maybe getting in touch with your witchy side. And then we also have Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. So Virgo, Aries, and Cancer are the top 3 most likely zodiac signs to be in your life through the month of April. So now let's go ahead and take all of these together to get any last information for you. Okay, that one fell on the floor and it landed on 4. So we have the 4th house. So Sagittarius, Pluto, in the 4th house. So Pluto in Sagittarius in the 4th house. Pluto is major transformations. The 4th house is our foundation and our home life, our family. There could be a lot of major healing that you're doing in your family or within your home life so that you can expand and move forward again. You're going to be transmuting something so that you can actually move forward and let go of the past. There's some sort of major transformation that's going to happen here. Some of you may also spontaneously think about moving. That may not particularly happen in April. Maybe it'll just be like a fun idea that flutters by in April, or it could literally be happening as soon as April for some of you. But Pluto in the 4th house in Sagittarius can indicate like a big spontaneous transformation around the home, such as moving or wanting to change things, or it could also indicate our emotions. Like we might be transforming our energy and our emotions around our home life or around our family or our foundation or something like that. So that's also another big kind of thing that is coming up here in the Astro Dice for you. So my beautiful group number 4s, that's what we have for you for your month of April of 2023. I am sending you so much love and thank you so much for being here and allowing me to read your cards for you. And hopefully it offered you some kind of guidance or deeper understanding for your month. I'm sending you all so much love and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.